Emily, get me the medicine. You little bastard. Soon, you will face my power. The power of the MO operation. Oh!
Mutate and swell. Say hello to evolution.
Well, some of you asked for it, and let's face it, you were going to get it either way. Whoever at Max Factory decided to pull Asai Masaki to one side and be like, bro, I know what you're working on is going to like change the world of PVC figures as we know it, but you know what? Terraformar Figma. Whoever they were is either a genius or nightmares incarnate. Either way, this is a thing that exists. Figma number 230, a terraformer from Terra Formars. I call him George. Say hello, George. So reaction to this guy seems to have been a mixture of uncontrollable fits of laughter, screams of abject terror, and simply the question, why? And to be fair, that's pretty much what you can expect from this review. I mean, the why is fairly simple considering there are more Terraformars Figma on the way. I mean, well, Akari at least, no more have been announced as far as I'm aware. But even after being answered, it's just one of those questions that continues to linger no matter how much you rationalise it. It's like you're having a conversation with your inner child. So yeah, this guy is like a cockroach bloke.
Why?
Because humans sent cockroaches to Mars and they evolved out of control.
Why?
It was part of a plan to make Mars safe for humans to live on.
Why?
Because the population on Earth was way too high.
Why?
Because people kept having stupid kids like you.
Why?
Oh, bugger off and put plasters on your eyebrows or something. Oh, come on then, George. Let's review you, you ridiculous bastard. So, ignoring the fact that George is a Figma of a bloody terraformer, he's actually really good. He's very similar in feel to the Guts Figma that have been released over the years. I think part of that is just as a result of him being so chunky. He's got these big limbs that are just really easy to manipulate and move around. He's super easy to pose and he behaves himself really well. The head is a bit rigid at times, but for the most part it's really nice. As a result, I find him really easy and fun to pose, which makes a nice change from Figma. I usually find the whole affair to be nightmarish. So for a mutated, super evolved cockroach man, George is actually really behaved. Good boy. The biggest disappointment when it comes to this guy is the fact that he doesn't come with any expressions, he just has the one kind of distant, stoic look. I know that it's technically a different character, but come on! Just give him the grin. I mean, you know, yeah, okay, he's a different character, but if you just get like a piece of kitchen roll and just kind of wrap that around there. See, it's the guy from the OVA. Give him a grin. Go on. He does, however, come with a little trick to help make up for the fact that he doesn't have any different expressions, and that's the fact that you can move his eyes inside his head. And this little doohickey here is to facilitate that. But to be honest, I can't separate his head from his face. No matter how hard I try, and literally I have tried everything I can to pry this thing off to move the eyes. I just can't do it. And that's a shame really, considering this is the only vaguely unique feature that George is supposed to have. The level of detail on this guy really is something else. Look, he's even got his little butt nubs. And like I said before, the articulation is spot on. He's even got two joints in his torso which allow him to do some mad crunches. So yeah, his range of movement is absolutely fantastic. The biggest letdown with this guy is I feel the paint job is a little bit too dark, and I don't know, on close inspection he looks sort of metallic, which is really weird. Now the biggest disappointment for me when it comes to this guy is the fact that he doesn't really come with anything. He's more expensive than your average Figma, and he only came with some hands and a club, and that's it. I mean, realistically, what else was he really going to come with now that I think about it? I mean, bits of dead Annex 1 members, a slingshot, a gun. Actually, those two aren't bad ideas. Now, one of George's most redeeming features is the fact that he does actually come with quite a lot of hands, which are all quite emotive and expressive, which makes up for his lack of expression. I mean, even his... You got your standard affair like fists and holders and neutral hands, and then you've got some more actiony ones like knife hands and this clawed one. He's also got a badass pointer. There is so much flexibility with these hand choices, and coupled with how easy he is to pose, it's really difficult to resist the temptation just to put him in JoJo's poses all the time. Wait a minute. JoJo? Joji? There is one hand in particular though, which completely boggles my mind. I literally have no idea why it's even in there. I can't even look at it without laughing. The hand that I'm talking about is this. It's the goddamn shocker. Look at that. Why is it here? What purpose does it serve? It's just vulgar. I don't recall the Terra Formars being solid believers of 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. At least it's not something that's come up in the series yet. I mean, I'm not that far in the manga, so let me know if it does come up in conversation, but to be honest, I seriously doubt it. Even if it does have a legitimate reason for being there, there is nothing in this universe that's going to stop me from thinking that this is just the goddamn shocker. So, besides being a traumatizing doujin waiting to happen, and the fact that not much comes out of the box, George is pretty nifty. His range of motion and his posability is awesome, and to be honest, he's just a lot of fun to dick around with. Yeah, he's a bit of an oddball choice of figure, but he's alright. To get the full Terra Formars effect though, you would have to get multiple, and considering this guy's original retail price was 6,000 yen, I don't really see that happening. So what was your reaction to seeing this guy? Was it, yes, or was it, oh god no? Let me know in the comments. God, this thing is just so silly. That's perfect. I'm sorry this guy was a little hard to see in the video sections because I've got friggin' black bookshelves. I hope it was alright.